Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you are having a great week so far. At least it quit snowing here in Kimberley. That's a plus. Sun might, I see a patch of blue sky. But today, more importantly than the weather, I want to discuss something hugely important. I've got a lot to talk about. I've got a long list of notes here I want to get through. Today, I'm going to talk about the importance of learning to see properly. The job of the artist is to observe. And I am teaching you every Monday. I'm teaching art lessons every Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons. And I talk endlessly about theory, composition, line, shape, value, color theory, complements, on and on. But unless you can see what it is I'm talking about, you are not going to get very far in your painting. I'm not talking about, those of us who want to be a professional. I'm talking even about you hobby painters who are just here to enjoy things, have a good afternoon, really, have some fun. The most important skill of all is to learn how to see, to observe. Now, a lot of times this means you need to stop and be still, contemplate, slow your mind down. The art process, you cannot be a multitasker. And I know a lot of my students, they've been mothers, they've been in professional people, they've been bookkeepers and accountants, they've been social workers. I had a lot of students, and they come from all walks of life, and they're used to being a busy kind of mind. And the art mind is a different mind altogether. So it's important that you are able to make the switch from the right brain to or left brain over to the right brain, which is the art mind. And you can't be a multitasker when you're in right mind thinking. I've talked about this before, and one of my most favorite books that I always recommend is called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. She gives you very great exercises in how to make that transition from one side to the other of your brain. Totally different thought processes. The left brain is your logical thinking, mathematical, your language side. Your right brain is your creative side, your abstract thinking, your other side, where you can kind of zone out. You can feel the difference when you're working in the right brain. And you have to be able to see and quietly be in that zone. And you can't do that if you're trying to do other things while you're painting. And learning how to see, you want to go outside and you want to sit in nature and you want to look at a leaf and study the veins in the leaf and study how a single tree, the branches fall and they go in and out. They're not all even. A lot of times when my students come to my class, they wind up painting all their trees in a nice, neat little row. Well, that's left brain. That is not the way nature is. And I don't know if you could see behind me right there. I started a painting yesterday. It's just random stroke here, there, and everywhere, like a tree is random. But every stroke I did was for a purpose. It may look random, but it's not. I was very present for every one of those paint strokes that I did. And the shape is looking like trees. I want you to not, when you come to that canvas, I don't want you to just sit there and start painting all over the place without having a reason for painting those strokes. The thought came to my mind that you want to, the quote was, measure twice, cut once. Well, I'm going to change that slightly, and I'm going to say, I want you to look twice and paint once. Every stroke needs to be for a reason. So I don't want you to be sitting there randomly dabbing all over the place without having a purpose for those strokes. I want you to be thinking about the shape, the line, the value, and the color with every stroke you do. And it will become more natural to you the longer you've been painting. Learning how to paint is like learning a new language. When you're trying to learn how to speak French, you have to really methodically think about conjugating all those verbs and whether they're masculine or feminine. And it does not come easy. Neither does painting. It is a process, and you need to be present for that process. You cannot be absent-mindedly painting along without consciously thinking of where you're doing your strokes and what color you're using. What else did I want to tell you? So learning to see. If you note, I don't know if you saw the Instagram, Facebook post that I did yesterday. It was of a fern that was growing in my garden. My friend Darcy took the photograph, and it's a beautiful spiraling fern before it opened. It was just about to bloom, and there was one drop of water coming off the tip of it. It's a stunning photo, very close up. So my homework to each of you is to go out in nature. I want you to either take your cell phone and photograph something up close and personal. And I want you to study that. And if you don't want to do your photograph, take your sketchbook and go out there and sketch a leaf or sketch a fern. I sketch some of the dead grasses that are like come out from underneath the snow patches. Nature is going to be our best teacher. And I want you to spend 10 minutes every day studying something up close and personal. I want you to look at it with your eyes. I want you to see the veins in the leaf. I want you to see the striations that are in the rocks. Pick up a rock and draw it. Spend 10 minutes every day. Focus completely on observing something, and it will show up great gangbusters in your art and in your painting. It will come through your paintbrush. You want to be painting some of your emotion, and the only way your emotion can come out is if you are in tune with the thing that you are actually painting. Contemplate, why am I actually painting this subject matter? Why am I painting this mountain or this river or this bridge or whatever? You need to be present. When I was learning to study with my first mentor, Karen, she took me out on a road trip, and I was living in the prairies of southern Alberta. We went on a drive, and there was a stormy, cloudy day, and it wasn't raining. She stopped the car, pulled it over on the old country highway, and said, "Tell me what color you would paint that field of wheat." And of course, normally a person would paint wheat, a wheat color, you know. But no, I sat and I looked, and it was a stormy, stormy, dark gray sky. And I looked at the ground, the field, and off in the distance, it was navy blue. So I said, how could that be? It didn't make sense. And it's important as an artist to not paint what you think should be there, but to actually paint what is in front of you. And your eyes will never lead you wrong. So keep that in mind. Trust your eyes, not your head. You do not want to be thinking with your head, even though you have to think about the line, shape, value, color, etc. But your eyes will tell you what value it is, what color it is, what shape it is. Do not let your head tell you what shape that tree is, because it'll get wrong. You'll get it wrong every time. 10 minutes a day. What else do I need to tell you? Every stroke must mean something. No dabbing. I will repeat that today. No stroke without a reason. What else do I need to tell you? Okay, contemplation, super important. You're going to contemplate art 10 minutes every day, not thinking about your to-do list, not thinking about all the the other things you need to do, not thinking about phone calls. Turn your cell phone off for that 10 minutes. Just focus on your art in order to be a better painter. The other thing I want to mention is I do not want you to be tied up into your outcome of your painting. A lot of my students really struggle because they start the painting and they want it to be a masterpiece immediately. And as you look at the painting behind me here, this is just a few strokes, it's a few shapes. It is not a masterpiece. You can tell they're going to be trees, but it's a layering process. You want to start by your shapes and just work it up. It's a process. It's not going to look like a masterpiece from day one. And to be frank, not all paintings are going to be a masterpiece. We are all learning. I can't even produce a masterpiece every time. None of us really can, unless you're Michelangelo. But remember, it is a process. Don't be attached to the outcome. My one student was just started a canvas and she's like, oh, does it look all blobby? And I'm like, yeah, that it does. And it's supposed to. At this stage, we're just laying in our shapes. We're getting it as a good base. It's a foundation for the painting and we will work it up. The magic happens in the final moments. So just have fun, take time, be quiet, have some solitude, and that's half your battle. Look at that. I know I had a lot to talk about. I'm well past 11 minutes already on my 10-minute Monday, so I'm going to sign off. I've posted a link to my blog if you want to read more about my studies with my mentors and how I learned to see better. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. Stay safe, everyone, and I will talk to you soon, next Monday. Enjoy. Bye for now.